Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Racha, Kodash. Double honors to the apostle and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. Yeah, I just want to get into a lesson that I was reading through the book of Proverbs, the 10th chapter, and the 5th verse stood out to me, specifically because it reminds me of what Yahweh Shai said, which I'll get that as well. Written of in John the 9th chapter, I must work the works of him that sent me while it is day. The night cometh when no man can work. And even I believe yesterday when I did the live stream with the brothers Shamya and Ashiar, I can't remember which of the brothers mentioned something, but something along those lines sparked about, doing this work and things like that. Can't remember which brother, what he said exactly, but I remember something along those lines sparked that. But here is Proverbs chapter 10 and verse 5. It reads, He that gathereth in summer is a wise son, but he that sleepeth in harvest is a son that causeth shame. Right? So there, which I'll also get that precept as well, but just to, quote it a little bit in Ecclesiastes where it says, to everything there's a season, right? Which, matter of fact, let me just get it and I'll jump back, right? Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 1, it says, to everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under the heaven. So to everything there is a season, right? There is a time to do things. There's a time not to do things. And going back to Proverbs, he that gathereth in summer is a wise son. Right now is the time, like Yahushua mentioned in John, I must work the works of him that sent me while it is day. Now is the time to be gathering. Now is the time to be gathering what? The wisdom, knowledge, understanding, to be gathering faith for a treasure, to be putting in the work for the ministry, right? Those of you who are prophets and those of you that may not be prophets, but still, you are still commanded to turn your life back to Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai, to be edified, to pay attention in these videos, right? So that way your faith can be built up. You may not be a prophet, you may not be allotted, or it may not be a lot to go out there and do the ministry work, right? To go out there on the highways and byways. But you are still in Israel. You are still working for your salvation, right? As the scriptures say, I'm probably going to butcher it, but I'm going to try to say it the best I can, but God damn it, this brain, as I'm getting older, it's like the brain is losing memory. Basically, seek out your salvation with fear and trembling. The water, Yahweh. I'm sorry, my brain is like just going, right? So through the spirit, we're seeking out our salvation with fear and trembling through this ministry, right? We are the prophets. We have been commanded to go out there on the highways and byways. We have, in a sense, a larger plate, so to speak. But for those of you that it may not be a lot to go out there, you still have something on your plate as well that you have to eat off of, right? You still have something on your plate that you have to take care of, right? So right now, again, going back to Proverbs chapter 10, he that gathereth in summer is a wise son, right? You would be wise, right, to take advantage of taking in these videos, getting edified, right? Taking advantage now, doing these lessons when you can, especially seeing as how we can see that the time is short. Yes, we always say the time is short, the time is short, the time is short. But eventually it's going to come to a point where we're no longer going to be saying that. We're going to be in the time is fucking short, nigga. Like, we in it now, all right? Eventually we ain't going to be, part of my language as well, but eventually ain't going to be no more the time is short. The time is now, motherfucker, all right? You don't want to be that son, right, that sleepeth in harvest, right? Again, going back to Ecclesiastes, there's a time to everything, right? During the summer is when you want to plant, you want to till the ground, you want to invest into your land, right? That's when you want to plant things, right? That's when you want to work the field. You don't want to be doing things in the winter time when you're out of season, right? Because then it's going to be like you trying to grow crops, grow fruits and vegetables in the winter. That's out of season. You out of touch. You out of place. You doing things at the wrong time. Take it like, hey, right now is the time to take heed unto the word, to take heed unto the gospel. Right now is the season to do so. Imagine you trying to take heed and trying to get the wisdom, knowledge, understanding right? Trying to get your faith up in Jacob's trouble, trying to understand the parables, the breakdowns, the things like that in Jacob's trouble. You out of season, buddy. You out of touch. Now is not the time to be trying to be learned. Is this the MOTB or not? What's the Lord's name? You should have been known these things. That's for 2/3 of our people. That's where they're going to get caught up, right? They are that son, right, that sleepeth in harvest, when they should have been gathering in the summer, taking heed unto this word, taking heed unto the doctrine, gathering faith for a treasure, getting the true name of the Heavenly Father and the Son, right? Again, taking heed, being wise, and seeing now is the time, so that way when the time comes, there's a saying, Bakwar even mentions at times. I think it's something along the lines of failing to prepare is preparing to fail, if I'm not mistaken, or I might be saying that backwards. I apologize. So again, now is the time to take heed and to gather, to plant, right? To grow. You don't want to be planting and growing in Jacob's trouble. Nah, you're supposed to already been solidified. You already supposed to be solid. So that way, when the time comes, it's like, yo, I'm already prepared for this. I already prepared for success. I didn't prepare for failure. But that's what 2/3 of our people are preparing for. They're preparing for failure. I'm sorry. Let me go back to Ecclesiastes. So Ecclesiastes chapter 3 and verse 1, to everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under heaven, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down and a time to build up. Right now is the time to be building up your faith, right? A time to weep and a time to laugh. Excuse me. Right? And right now we have been weeping, we have been mourning. But Yahushua said what? That's going to change when all hell breaks loose, right? The world is going to rejoice and things like that, and you shall be mournful. But then he said what? That's going to change to where you're going to laugh, and then they're going to be the ones mourning. There's that old saying, he who laughs laughs. He who laughs last laughs best. A time to mourn and a time to dance, a time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing. And right now, still to this day, it's, we can still embrace you to a degree. But as you can see, if you ever notice, ever since I came to the truth, I remember watching the videos with the elders and apostles, even the brothers that I labored with. They used to be out there later. They used to be out there, laboring for about 5+ hours. Now you're seeing we only stay out there for about at least a minimum of 2-3 hours, and then that's it. You can see that things are slowly, the Lord is slowly refraining from embracing, right? Even the way brothers, when they speak to people, they're not trying to really hey, I got one more precept for you. Eldai Tazum says that at times. I got one more precept. Oh, I got this for you. No, it's like, hey, you don't get, all right, you can go. All right, we understand. All right, deuces. The only thing brothers may try to get someone, to at least really hear is the MOTB, but that's about it. Other than that, it's like, all right, cool. All right, you could dip. Verse 6, a time to get and a time to lose, a time to keep and a time to cast away, a time to rend and a time to sow, a time to keep silence and a time to speak. And I've mentioned this a couple of times. Right now is the time for you people to keep silence and listen, right? Now is the time for the prophets to speak, which we have been speaking. And now is the time for those of you that don't know anything to keep silence. All right? And like I mentioned, let me get that in John 9. This is John chapter 9 and verse 4. It says, I must work the works of him that sent me while it is day. The night cometh when no man can work. See? So eventually there's going to come a point in time where we're not going to be out there. Because imagine all hell breaking loose. We don't have to sit there and bring out and prophesy to you Ezekiel, Isaiah, Jeremiah, Habakkuk, Hosea, right? Something in Deuteronomy, something in Genesis, right? Something in Revelation, something in Corinthians, something in Galatians. We ain't going to have to do that, because you're going to be living these things, right? Eventually, where we say Habakkuk, the vision is set for an appointed time, the appointed time is now and it's playing out. Eventually, we're no longer going to be quoting things like that. It's going to be playing out. Your people are going to be living prophecy. So now is the time, like Yahushua said, to work the works of him that sent me while it is day. When all hell breaks loose, you ain't going to be doing this. It's going to be another, like I mentioned this in the previous video I did, it's going to be another level of the labor. It's no longer going to be just going out there on the highways and byways. You're going to have to labor to endure, right? It's going to be a different type of labor where, hey, you could be caught up in a concentration camp. Trump with all his deporting and things like that. That's going to be a different labor, a different type of endurance. Right now, we're in a type of labor where, hey, we're required to go out there on the highways and byways, do these daily, weekly, monthly, yearly videos, right? That we do day in and day out, week in and week out, month in and month out, year in and year out. But very soon that's going to change where, hey, your labor, your endurance is going to be, hey, you got to endure being in a concentration camp. You got to deal with that. Now the labor has changed, right? Not saying trying to, revolutionize this and make it seem like something different, but things are going to change where it's not going to just be the comfortable, hey, you're doing your lesson like how I'm doing it right now at the crib. Right? It's going to be a little bit different where, highways and byways, ain't nobody really bothering us. People really want to avoid us. Eventually, people going to step to us, right? The game is going to change, essentially, right? If you ever played football, first quarter, second quarter, things is kind of, you kind of feeling out the game and things like that. But then fourth quarter, maybe the end of the third quarter, going into the fourth quarter, if the game is close, things start getting a little different, right? People start playing harder. Right? That's how things is going to get. Right now, people avoid us. They don't have nothing to do with us. But very soon, people are going to start confronting us, wanting to start asking us questions. Some may be sincere. Some going to be insincere. Oh. And the last precept I have here is in Sirach 5 and I believe 7. Right. This is Sirach chapter 5 and verse 7. Make no tarrying to turn to the Lord, and put not off from day to day. For suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed and perish in the day of vengeance. Right? So for those of you who are new to this ministry that are now coming in, don't put off learning this wisdom, knowledge, understanding. Don't put it off from day to day. Because just like that, the same way you're putting off from day to day, things is slowly but surely, the way you're putting things off, saying, it's delayed, we're moving closer and closer to the end. We're moving closer and closer to the day of vengeance, to the day of Yahweh Bashem Al Shai. And eventually, hey, in your security, in your life, the way you think that, I'll be fine and things like that. Hey, no, you're going to perish, right? In thy security, thou shalt be destroyed and perish in the day of vengeance. When you think that everything is all good, everything's copacetic, everything's all right, you're going to be caught slipping. And that's what's going to happen to two-thirds of our people here in America. They're going to be caught slipping. They think that they're going to be in a good case. But no, they're going to be caught in a very bad case. So this is why you don't put off from day to day. This is why it's best to gather right now in the summertime, so to speak. Right, where this is the opportunity, this is the season to do so. Because we're coming into a season where it's not going to be wise, or it's not going to be let me not say fruitful, but probably I'm trying to put too much on it, but we're coming into a season where you're going to be out of touch, trying to learn things, wanting to know the name of the Heavenly Father, trying to learn this and learn that. No, now is the time to take things in, right? Think about it. We all went to school. Why do you think they give you the curriculum or whatever it is? It's been a while since I've been in school. But they give you all this stuff. They give you time. They give you about, 2-3 weeks to prepare for the test. And then eventually, you don't want to wait till the last day to now cram everything in. Nah, it doesn't work like that. This is not something that you can cram at the end. No, this is something your faith has to, over time, be built up. You have to get, over time, you start to understand things over the years more and more. You can't just cram this all in at once and think, I got it, I'm straight. Nah. It doesn't work like that. Things take time. Good things, right? Like the saying goes, good things take time. And this is a very good thing. This is a righteous thing, right? This wisdom, knowledge, understanding. So this takes time to nourish. This takes time to build up. right? What's the saying? Rome wasn't built in a day, right? So if you want to build something that's going to last, you take your time building it. You don't rush it, because if you rush it, you may have overlooked something. Same thing with this wisdom, knowledge, understanding. If you try to cram it, you may be overlooking something that could be detrimental. So, pray this video, I'll end it here, but I pray this video has been edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha, Kodash. Double honors to the apostle elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. Shalom.